Hello all, welcome to part 19 of JavaScript for Beginners series. In this session, I am going to practically demonstrate objects in JavaScript. So let's get started. First of all, what exactly are these objects? Objects are nothing but the representation of the real world entities. But what are these real world entities? Real world entities are anything that you see in this real world. For example, we can see a water bottle, we can see a pen. Okay, before me there is a water bottle, mouse, pen, laptop, mobile phone, file. Okay, I have a laptop bag, I have a table. All these are the objects, guys. Okay, anything that you see on the road can be an object, the car can be an object, bus can be an object, a building can be an object, a hut can be an object. Okay, all these are the objects, guys. Okay, objects in JavaScript are nothing but the representation of the real world entities. Okay, representation of the real world entities, and these objects contain properties and methods. For example, if you take object example as a car, okay, that particular car will have some properties and methods, guys. What are the properties of the car? Color of the car, cost of the car, mileage of the car, model of the car, number of wheels that the car has. All these are the properties of the car. Similarly, these objects contain methods. What are the methods of the car? The methods can be like whatever the actions that the car can do, guys. For example, we can start the car, we can stop the car, we can uh, change the gear in the car, right? First gear, second gear, like that. Okay, for each and every action we need a method. And we can open the moon roof of the car. Okay, we can turn off the music system in the car, we can turn off the music system in the car. Okay, so all these actions can be created as methods for the objects in the JavaScript. Okay, all these actions of the car can be created as a methods in this for this object in the JavaScript. Fine. Now we understood what are the properties and what are the methods with this car example. Anyhow, now let's go into the practical mode, guys, where I'm going to create an object. I'll take the example as same example, guys. That is car example only. I'll be creating an object known as car, and for that car, we'll be creating some properties and methods, guys. Okay. So how to create? First, we'll create the properties, guys. Later part, we'll go with the methods. Okay, we'll start creating an object with some properties. Later part, I'll show you how to create the methods. Fine. So to go to the practical mode, I have to first launch this Visual Studio Code IDE. I launched it. Now I'll create a sample JavaScript file, say demo.js. Inside this JavaScript file, guys, I'll create an object for the car. Okay, how to create an object for the how to create a car object? I have to say let. Let is the keyword we have to use before the name of the object. The car is the object, guys, is equal to, and this is the starting of the object, this is the ending of the object. Inside the starting and ending section of this object, we'll be creating the properties first, guys. Okay, we'll be creating the properties for this car object. How to create the properties? You know the properties of the car, right? Already. Color of the car. Okay, color of the car can be like we'll give some value, say red color, and price of the car, let's say 8 lakh rupees, let's say. Then I'll give mileage of the car. Okay, mileage of the car, mileage of the car is like 22.27 kilometers per liter, let's say. These three properties I created for now, guys. Okay, I just created three properties for now inside this car object. We can create any number of properties, guys. Let's say we'll create one more, say wheels. Okay, wheels is equal to 4. Okay, wheels colon 4 is another property I created. So here for the car object we created four properties. Fine. Now, guys, how to access these properties of this car object? How to access the these properties of this car object? For that, guys, we'll simply write like this. For example, I'll just print out the after accessing these properties, I'll print out them. So this is for printing, guys. For printing, I'm writing console.log. Inside the console.log, guys, I'm going to write down saying car dot, okay, car not dot, car of which property you want to retrieve from this object. Let's say you want to retrieve the color of this object. So here inside this car square brackets, you have to provide double quotes and provide the name of this properties, that is color. Okay. And if I run this code, guys, if I run this code, you will get the color retrieved. The color of this car object is red. That color will be retrieved and printed in the output, guys. You can see that in action. So here, let's wait for the path of this file to come. The path of the file. Sometimes it takes some time. Yeah, it came now. I'll just say clear. And here I'll say node demo.js. JS. Okay, I'm just running this JavaScript file using the node.js, guys. And here we created the object, guys. This object has some properties, and we are trying to retrieve the values of these properties. One of the property of this car object, that is a color property of this car object, we are trying to retrieve. This is the format, guys. Okay, car of the square brackets, we have to provide the name of the property, that is color. It will retrieve the value of that particular property in the car object. Okay, so now let's run this. Whatever the value that got retrieved, right, console.log will print into the output like this, right? Red is printed. Okay, we got the proper thing. Similarly, let's try to retrieve the other values of the other properties in this car object. For that, I'll write down like this: console dot log of car of. Okay, the double quotes provide what is that? Name of the property, price. I want to retrieve the price. Then I want to retrieve the mileage of the car. The log of car of double quotes. I'll just retrieve the mileage of this car object. And finally, one more, that is console dot log of car of. I'll retrieve the number of wheels that this particular car object has. Okay, wheels. Okay, wheels is a property. So this individually we are retrieving the property values of each of this car object, right? Individually we are retrieving the values of this properties of this car object like this here. Okay, so here I'll run this, guys. I'll clear it and run like this demo.js. You see, red 8 lakhs 22.27, that is mileage. This is the price. This is the color of the car object, and this is the number of wheels of the car object. So all the property values we are able to retrieve like this. This is the format, guys. Okay, but here, guys, for each and every property, I don't want to write a separate console.log statement, or I don't want to write a separate statement for retrieving each and every or accessing each and every property of the car object. Rather, I can remove this and create a for loop, guys. Here, guys, we will be using something known as for in loop. Okay, there's something like for in loop we can use with the objects, guys. Okay, in JavaScript there is something. It's not a base general or basic for loop, guys. It's a for in loop, which is an advanced for loop in JavaScript, which can be used with the objects. Okay, so here car is object, right? You can use this for in loop with the objects. So here I'll just create a variable. Okay, say let. Okay, let, and you have to give something, is just name something. Let's say x you can give, or t you can give. Okay, in let t in this car object. Okay, let t in car object, and here I'll say console.log of I'll simply print t. Okay, I'll simply print t, guys. What will happen if you print t here? Okay, here what happens is, here t is representing the property in this car object, guys. Okay, for each and every property, in this car object, you have to iterate the for loop and print that particular property. Okay, so that means if there are four properties, let t in first property will be color. For color in car, print that color. Okay, here we are not printing the value of the color property, rather we are printing the color itself, guys. Okay, the name of the property we are printing. So here when I say for let t in car and console.log of t, this will print all the property names, that is color, price, mileage, wheels will be printed. Not the values will not be printed, guys. Okay, values will not be printed. Instead, the property names will be printed. So here, since there are four properties will be printed in the output, guys. Let me run this node demo.js. You see, all the four property names, that is color, price, mileage, and wheels got printed. But what if I want to retrieve the values of these properties, not the properties names, but the values of these properties? For that, guys, you have to write like this: car of t, you have to specify. Okay, this t is a property. Car of color is red, it will retrieve. The next iteration, car of price is 8 lakhs, it will retrieve and print. In the third iteration, car of mileage, that is 22.27, it will print. The car of wheels, it will print 4, like that, guys. Hope you are able to understand. Again, say node demo.js red 8 lakh 22.274. If you want to print both, guys, let's say property names and values at the same time, you can print like this: t plus, give some space, guys, or put some colon here. Okay, put some colon and give some space to the other sides of the colon, and just put a plus here. Okay, plus is for concatenation, guys. It's concatenating this particular t with this space and colon and space, and after that it is concatenating this part with the car of t, that is values of the properties. Okay, property name space colon space concatenated with the value of the property. So if I run now, you will get property name and also the property value. So if I say node demo.js, if I run using the node.js, you see you'll get like this guys, color colon red, price colon 8 lakh, mileage colon 22.27, wheels colon 4. Like this you will get because of this way of writing the console.log statements. Fine. Next thing guys. Next thing is, so we can use for in loop, right? Here we can use for in loop with the objects to retrieve each and every property of this car object. Okay, fine. Or any object. Fine. Now next thing guys, okay, there are other things guys. For example, here you already created the object with some properties guys. Tomorrow, if you want to add more objects, sorry, tomorrow if you want to add more properties to this object, okay, you have added 4 properties to this object, but tomorrow if you want to add a new property to this particular object, what you can do is we can do something like this guys. That is, we have to say car of, okay, you have to say car object of, provide the property name inside the square brackets, inside the double quotes, provide the property name, say I want to add model here, okay, new property I want to add to this car object. So I have to provide the object name and square brackets and the name of the property name you want to add, and with some value you have to provide. For example, here I'll provide the value as Swift VDI as a model, let's say, okay, VDI, put a semicolon here. Like this, you can add any number of extra properties to this existing car object having some existing properties. Okay, at later point of time, you can do that, guys. Now, guys, let's run the same for loop for let t in car console.log. Earlier, it was only printing 4 properties. Now, since you added one more property, one more extra property you added to this car object outside this structure, you created another object, another property, extra new property you wanted to add to the car object. Let's see whether this for loop is considering this new property or not. Okay, model along with these 4 properties. Now we should get model also. Let's see whether that is possible or not. It is possible, guys. When you run this code, you can see that now it will print 5 properties. Okay, not 4 properties. So I'll say node demo.js. You see color, price, mileage, wheels. The newly added property using this statement also got added to the car object. Fine, done. Next thing, guys. Similarly, okay, you can update the property values here. Okay, any of the property you take and update. For example, I want to update the value of this mileage, let's say. So I'll say car of, okay, what is the property name that I want to update the value here? Original value is 22.27, but I want to update it, guys. I want to change or update the value afterwards. Okay, so here I'll change it to, let's say, 25.12. Okay, 25.12. I want to update. Now let me run the same for loop, guys. The same for loop. When I run this Java code, guys, you see it will give you the mileage as not 22.27 because we updated it here. Okay, if you want to update any of the values of these properties, you can do like this, guys. Okay, so clear. I'll say node demo dot, the properties with updated values will be coming now. You see, color is red, price is 8 lakh, mileage is equal to updated value 25.12 km, wheels is equal to 4, model is equal to this one. Similarly, guys, we can delete one of the property. For example, I want to delete out of all these four properties and extra fifth property is added here. I want to delete one of the property, guys. That is, I want to delete the price. Let's say so car of. So here I have to say delete. I have to use a keyword known as delete and followed by what is the property you want to delete. Inside the car object, I want to delete this price property. Okay, I'll give the price here and put a semicolon. Now if you run this for loop, guys, for in loop for this object, okay, not all the 5 properties will be coming. Price property will not be coming, guys, because it already got deleted here. Okay, price property got already deleted here and that will not come. Let's see that in action. Clear. uh, Node demo.js. You see only 4 properties came. Price property didn't came because we deleted it here. We deleted the price property here. All the remaining properties, either they are added early existing properties or newly added properties, everything came, but except price, guys. Okay, because we deleted it explicitly here. Okay, so these are the different operations we can perform on the object, where we can add new properties, we can update the existing properties, or we can delete the existing properties. All these things we can perform, guys. I'll just remove these things, guys. Okay, I'll just remove these things. Okay, I'll just remove these things, or I'll simply say control Z. Sorry, here control Z. I'll say I'll just remove this what you call, I'll just add this model. That's okay, but I'll not do any modifications like updating and deleting. I will not do. I'll just remove the statements for updating and deleting. But this property is anyhow added. Apart from these 4 properties, we got one more property, that is a model. Okay. Now guys, we can create some functions or methods inside this car object. Okay, so apart from the object having some properties, we can also add some methods to this, methods or functions to this particular object. How to add the methods or functions to this particular object? I have to say comma and go to the next one, guys. Give the name of the method, guys. Okay, just give the name of the method. Let's say start car is the name of the method I want to have. Colon, give a colon here, similar to space the way you are specifying the properties. But here after the colon, you should not give any value, guys. Rather, you have to create a function as it is like this. Okay, like this you have to create the function, guys. Start car colon, and you have to create the function. This is the name of the function, guys. Indirectly, this is the name of the function. Okay, so here I'll write down console.log of. Okay, console.log of. I'll just say so. This for accessing any of the properties inside this function, guys. For accessing any of these properties of this car object inside this function, I have to say this dot. This dot. You see, you are getting all the properties of this car object, that is color, mileage, price, start car, wheels here. I'm just going with the what else is there, guys? Color, mileage, price, wheels, and model. I'll go with the model, guys. Okay, I'll go with the model. Okay, model, car, started. Okay, like this, I'll provide a console.log statement. Okay, start car function, console.log, this dot model, car started. I'll create one more function, guys. One more function I want to create. Put a comma here and create one more, that is stop car colon function. The name of the function is stop car, and I'll create the function, guys. And here I'll say console.log of this dot model. Okay, car stopped, car stopped. Put a semicolon. I can create one more function. Let's say I want to print out all the car details. Let's say, okay, I'll simply name this function as a car details function. Car details. I'll just create this function, guys, and here I'll mention console.log of. Okay, mm, I'll print the details of the car. That is, I'll just write like this. Color of the car is, okay. Color of the car is colon. Here I'll say plus this dot. I'll say this dot color. Okay, like this you have to provide, guys. This means this object's this object's color. This object's color. We have to provide like this, guys. Okay, this is the way we have to provide. Car details or colon. So not like here, guys. I already created all the functions. All the required functions got already created, guys. Inside the same car details function, guys. I'll just copy paste this one, guys. I'll copy paste this one and I'll just provide like this. Cost of the car is this dot. Here I have to say this dot price I have to select. Okay, then model of the car is this dot model I will say. Okay, then mileage of the car is this dot mileage. Okay, and any other things are left out, guys. A number of wheels, right? We'll have one more thing to print out all the details of this car. uh, number of car wheels is this dot wheels. Okay, this dot wheels, like this function will print out all the details of this car object, all the property details of this car object. Like this you have to access using the this keyword, guys. Okay, that's important. Now, guys, that's all good. So here, guys, I'll remove this for loop for now. Okay, I'll remove this for loop. Now, since our focus is mainly on the functions of this car object, we'll try to call these functions, guys. How to call the functions? For example, here I'll say clear. Okay, clear, and I'll just drag it here so that you can see everything. So this is the car object, guys. Inside the car objects, we have not only properties but also functions. Are three functions are there. You know how to access the properties, right? You know how to access the properties of the car object. But how to access the functions of this car object? How to access the functions of this car object? For that, guys, here I'll write. Here I'll simply write which function I want to call in this car object. Let's say I want to call start car function. Okay. For that, I have to say car dot guys start car function. Okay, I just have to call like this. Okay. Again, car object dot stop car function. Okay, stop car function. Then car dot car details function. Okay, I'll call another function, that is car details function. Like this you can call the functions of this car object, guys. Okay, you can call the functions of this car object like this. You see, when you call this start car function inside this car object, it will print uh, this dot model. What is the model of this car? Actually, model of the car is Swift VDI. Okay, it will simply say Swift VDI car started. When you call this stop car function like this car dot stop car, it will access this function. It will call this function and it will print Swift VDI car stopped. When you call car details function using the car dot car details, it will call this function and it will print all the details of the car object. That is, color of the car is red, cost of the car is 8 lakh, model of the car is 50 VDI, model of the car is 22 point something, number of the car wheels is 4, like that it will print. Okay, three functions we are calling one by one, guys. So now let me run the code node demo.js. You see all the functions got called. The first when, okay, so here, okay, what happened here? Cost of the car, anything gone wrong? Okay, just have to scroll it up, guys, nothing much. Okay, 50 VDI car stopped, the first function got called. 50 VDI car stopped, the second function got called, and all the details of the car, that is color of the car is red, cost of the car is 8 lakh, model of the car is 50 VDI, mileage is this much, number of the car, number of car wheels is 4, everything got printed properly, guys. Okay, now guys, now we understood how to access or call the functions of the car object. Okay, object. Now guys, earlier when I said you have to access the properties of this car object, I mentioned you have to access like this, right? I said like you have to access like this console dot log of car of. Okay, if I have to access the value of this particular, let's say value of this color, okay, color property. So here I have to say like this. Inside that I have to provide, inside the double quotes I have to provide color. Like this I have to provide, right? Then only it will be accessed. So let me run this. Okay, let me run this code. I'll simply, this time what will happen, guys? It will give you the color property value, that is red will be retrieved. Okay, so here node demo dot, when I say node demo dot, yes, it will give you the red color. Okay, like this. But there is another way, guys, to access the properties of this car object. There is another way. Instead of writing like this car of square brackets of color, you can say car dot color directly. This is also another way. This is also another way of accessing the properties. This way we have using this way, right? Car dot start car. Okay, so this is one way, guys. This is another way. Okay, either you can using the car object, you can call the properties, or you can call the functions kind of. Okay, car dot, you can access the properties, you can access the functions. Okay, you can access or call the functions. So this is possible in JavaScript, guys. You can choose whatever the way that is feasible, guys. Whenever you have to use this way, you use that way for accessing that particular thing. And whenever you want to access the properties using this way, you can access like this. But functions need to be accessed like this, guys. Car dot start car dot stop car function, car dot car details function. Like that you have to access the objects. What if you use for loop with all these properties and methods? Okay, will for loop will print all these objects and properties? Sorry, will for loop will print all for in loop, right? You have to use for in loop with for in loop with this car object. When you use for in loop with car object, at this moment you have 5 properties and 3 functions. Will the functions also will be printed with the help of for in loop? Yes, guys. Yes. Okay. Let's try that. For let I in car, I'll say console dot log of. I'll just print t, guys. Sorry, I will print this I, guys. You will see all the properties and functions of this particular car object will be printed, guys. Okay, you'll see that in action here. Here node demo dot js. You see, these are the property names. Till here are the property names. Like here, this model is also property name, color, price, mileage, wheels, and model. And here, all the function names also got printed. Okay, all the function names also got printed, guys. So hope, guys, you understood how to, okay, how to work with objects in JavaScript. Okay, this is how we need to create the objects. We have to create the properties and methods for the objects. We have to access the properties and methods of the object. Okay, and this is how we have to use for in loop. Okay, not the basic on general for loop we are not using with objects, guys. In order to loop the properties or functions of this particular object, we have to use a special loop known as for in loop. Okay, that I demonstrated as part of this session. And we can add the new properties to the object. We can update the existing properties of an object. We can delete the existing properties on object. All these operations we can do on the objects, guys, in JavaScript. Okay, apart from accessing the properties and calling the methods or functions of the object, we can also modify these things like adding a new property to the object, updating an existing property on object, deleting an existing property on an object, and many more are possible, guys. So this is all about the objects in JavaScript, guys. This is how we have to work with objects in JavaScript. So that's it, guys. See you in the next video session. Thank you. Bye.